Hey everyone, and welcome to Uncharted Realms weekly event. I'm Brent Kitchen alongside streamer to be named, sitting in the production booth, and we're excited to bring you Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Out of the Box Gaming is a store local to Thomasville, North Carolina, and they have in-store play and a marketplace for singles online. So if you're trying to switch your deck up after getting beat at your last road to nationals, check out Out of the Box Gaming in person or outoftheboxgaming.com. Excited to bring to you guys actions a 4-round classic constructed event today. And while I know a lot of people, those of you watching at home or playing, might be a little tired from Road to Nationals event, but this event should be rather exciting. Still, we got a lot of regulars here today, ready to bring you some amazing gameplay, to say the least. So we got Bartosz on Dorinthea starting us out here on round 1 against Dung on Prism. We're coming into the action a little bit late here into Bartosz's turn 2, actually. But it is just a... we'll get a confirmation on the life totals there. For right now, we have Bartosz was the turn 2 player. So he's going to try to come in for a little bit of tempo action. Won the dice roll and opted to go second. So, to catch up completely, we're here with a Dawnblade swing after it got hit and run, so it has a go again. And Bartosz responded with Iron Song response. Double Iron Song response to give it another +1. Excuse me, +3, because that one's going to be a red one. So, 4 out of the Iron Song responses, plus the Dawnblade at 3. So, it should be 7 total. All right, so the life totals, I guess, are accurate there. So 39 to 37 going in to Bartosz's second swing here on the Dawnblade, trying to get himself a counter there. But as we're watching this, let me know how you guys are doing out there in chat. Let me know how your day's going. How was your Road to Nationals event? Those currently playing in and watching this back later, I wish you the best of luck. Let me know how you did. Always interested to see and what your local meta was. What were the top decks? What made it, what didn't. In my local meta, Dorinthea ended up winning last night at a very long 12-hour day. So here we go. Dung coming in with a Phantasmaclasm. He gets to see his opponent's deck, put 1 card onto the bottom, and they will draw a card. It's a huge attack for 9. Phantasm doesn't trigger very often against Dorinthea. It's a very... it can be a very detrimental keyworded ability, but against Dorinthea, who doesn't run attack actions, Phantasm is going to get in there unscathed. So this is going to be a 9 attack. And Dung got a chance to get some information. So not too shabby there. I'm a big fan of the Prism. I had mentioned it earlier, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but Dorinthea is very strong. There's a lot of defensive Dorinthea builds I saw yesterday. So that'll do it there. So 9 into 3. So a carry over there is 6. We got 37 to 32 is what I'm seeing here. As a updated life total there. And then we're going to close out Dung's turn and move into Bartosz, who's going to lead it off with a Warrior's Valor yellow to give +2. And if it hits, go again. And then the Dawnblade. So 5 if it hits, go again. Yeah, Dung was going to put the skull cap there to defend with, but opted. But both players caught that he was at a higher life, so not able to do it. So no blocks there from Dung, no reactions from Bartosz, no stink blow from Dung. Deciding whether or not he wants to cycle a card out. Can't see his hand. We can see his mat though. He does cycle a card out. He's got a nice custom mat there. It looks like something out of a grade school classroom, but you know, it's not too bad. If those of you that were big into the phone games back in the day, kind of reminds me of Doodle Jump. Sort of in the same style. But anyways, Bartosz coming in yet again. Thanks to the fact that the Dawnblade hit by 1. Not exactly the smartest defensive strategy there by Dung. He did know, though, that Bartosz has a Razor's Reflex, so that's likely what his thought process was there, not trying to stop the initial Dawnblade swing. So Dung only opting for the 4 damage prevention at a sink below and allowing Bartosz to get the counter. Now Bartosz is sitting very happy with that counter. Brings that Dawnblade up to a natural 4. As long as he can get that Dawnblade to hit anytime during his turns, he will not lose that counter. So a little bit scary now for the Prism player, who has yet to generate any shields, and so far is just coming in with a more aggro Prism strategy. I tend to be a fan more of the defensive strategy, where you can just turtle up, get all these spectral shields, and have better Kodachis. For those ninja players out there, Kodachi for 1 every time. But you're doing it like 7 times, so hey, you can't beat it. So Dung coming in, E-Strike with Go again. 1 card in hand. So he's definitely going to try to follow something up. So you know that there's an attack there in Arsenal that he wants to pitch and play. He does have counters on the Tunic he could opt to do. All right, so just actually going to make a Spectral Shield. I was wrong. Dung's going to make a Spectral Shield and attack with it for 1. It will not have Go again. So that will end Dung's turn there. And he'll go to draw and pass a turn up. So, see the first Spectral Shield created by our Prism player. Solid strategy. Shields are very good. They prevent on-hit effects. And more critically, they prevent damage. Keep yourself alive. So Bartosz starting in with the Dawnblade for 4. That's the counter makes it so scary because everything from your hand blocks for 3. So 4 means that you're guaranteed to get 2 out of the hand or a defense reaction to block if your opponent doesn't want the Dawnblade to hit. So Bartosz sitting with 3 cards in hand and 2 resources and 1 in arsenal means that he's probably got a fair amount of reactions here. Does have his refraction bolters to give this Dawnblade Go again if he would like to. So no blocks there declared by Dung. Glint coming out. Dawnblade now has Go again. So this is going to be a big turn here from Bartosz. Won't even need to break his bolters. Oh, another sink below here out of our Prism. So it is more of a defensive Prism strategy. Has these defense reactions. I would have been a big fan of some Fate Foreseen on top of instead of the sink belows. Maybe you get that opt effect in there, but still cycling a card is pretty good. Bartosz wants this Dawnblade to hit, so he's going to raise his reflex that. He is trying to get himself a second counter, which would just be absolutely disgusting in this game. Dung cannot afford to take that. Yep, we're barrier to stop that, but the shield is caught there, so 1 shield down. But Dung took 2 overall. So now Bartosz has 1 hit on this Dawnblade right now. It has Go again. So his action point's still there. Another straight for 4 coming out. If this one hits, Bartosz will get a second counter. And you got to think that was just straight in this game for our Prism player. It's hard to stop basic attacks for 5 coming in every turn. Dung is very, very incentivized to just block this. But he doesn't do it, so he just lets it happen. Takes all of it, and Bartosz gets a second counter, bringing that Dawnblade up to 5. And this is looking very scary for a Prism player. I hope he has just an absolute monster of a hands, which is what not blocking here would indicate. So we're going to find out. Dung needs to do something absolutely wild this turn. Just take every card out of Bartosz's hands. Otherwise, he's just going to get roasted down by a guaranteed 10 damage on the next turn. Given if Bartosz needs to break his bolters for Go again. So Dung's starting off with Scar for Scar. And then he breaks his gauntlets there to Phantasmify. And Frontline Scout. Ooh, Phantasmify. There we go. Phantasm. Finally, the next attack card you play this turn becomes an illusionist attack, but they gain +5 in Phantasm. And then Dung did not want this card to get popped by any Command and Conquers or Nourishing Emptinesses back there. And so prevented that Phantasm ability from coming over. So Frontline Scout coming in for 8, and he gets to look. It did not come from Arsenal, so it doesn't have Go again, but Dung once again gets more information. Comments that is a very good hand there from Bartosz. It's a scary hand considering he's got 2 counters on that Dawnblade. I would not be surprised if Bartosz just takes 8 and doesn't care. He's deciding. He's considering. He does still have his equipment available. Skullcap, Brave Forge Bracers, Tunics, and Refraction Bolters. All which can block. For a for a substantial amount there, to be fair. He is at less life, so 2 off the Skullcap, 2 off the Bolters, or the Brave Forge Bracers. He come in, throw his Refraction Bolters there as well, if he wanted to. So going to do the Bolters for 1. And a Springboard Somersault from the Arsenal for 4. 5 total, takes 3. Great use of resources there from Bartosz. Doesn't use anything from that pretty scary hand that he's got developed. And that will end Dung's turn there. So 24-19 going into Bartosz's turn with 2 counters on the Dawnblade. And now we start with a Sharpened Steel with a Dawnblade coming in. So Bartosz will have 2 resources floating thanks to the fact that Sharpened Steel does not cost anything to play. What a great pump effect. So +3 on his weapon. So 8 total coming in. Dung didn't, he had a nice hand. He got 4 off the Scar for Scar +8, so it was a 12 damage turn, but is gonna find himself in a little bit of trouble now. So far we're only blocking for 3. Our Prism player here has shown that they are very defensive reaction heavy, so there may be more maybe more coming here, but so Dawnblade coming in for 5. Or tramples over for 5, and there's the Bolters gone. Gives it Go again. Expected to see that one coming. We know he's got some Steel Blades in his hand. Bartosz does. Just considering how he wants to see what's that. Has 2 energies floating. Only has 2 counters on the Tunic, though, so you know he can't take 1 off there. But Dung here now finds himself even life. His Skullcap's no longer active. Already has 1 counter on it, so not able to block with that, but he's gonna likely find himself losing some more cards out of the hand to avoid a 3rd counter on this Dawnblade. You'd have to think that it's almost even at an unstoppable stage right now, but maybe, maybe not. Maybe he's got a plan here. Bartosz wants to use the Bolters to pump it up, to swing in for 6. Opted not to fire off any of his reprise cards on Dong's last block. So 3 cards left in hand there for our Prism player. Looking at his equipment. He is incredibly incentivized to block this. It appears that he's opted not to block it. Oh boy, I'm starting to feel for our Prism player. I'm getting worried. So yeah, declares no blocks. Bartosz doesn't want to fire off. Just lets his Dawnblade get a 3rd counter, and away we go. So Arsenal and draw. So Bartosz will only draw 3. Thanks to the fact that 1 card was stuck in his hand after the Arsenal. But now our Prism player does get to work with 3 cards. He's only 6 life behind, so maybe he can equal out some tempo here. So Herald of Erudition. Dominate. If it hits, draw 2 cards. This is a money card here for our Prism player. This is the exact card he wanted to see. This can keep can get that ball rolling. Goes back to the Soul, which is huge there to give yourself Spectral Shields. It does have Go again, thanks to the yellow pitch in the pitch zone. And the fact that our Prism player is running Luminaris. but he is facing down a very scary Dawn Blade. Effectively 2 Dawn Blades at the same time. So Bartosz coming in with 1 card out of the hand and the bracers to block for 5. This is a huge key there, keeping his equipment from some of the previous rounds and just opting to take the damage. So Erudition didn't hit, but with the go again, he's going to come in with a Herald of Triumph. So 7 coming in, and attack action cards get -1. Not super relevant in this matchup, but in some other matchups, relevant to keep Phantasm from triggering. Big thing though here, if it hits, it goes to the soul. No energy floating right now for our Prism player. So would not be able to create any spectral shields, but could then have that card and soul there for later if he wanted more shields. So big thing though to note about the Prism player, if you take a look through his equipment, it's opting to run the Spring Tunic instead of the Vestige of Soul. So you can definitely tell that his strategy is going to be way more aggro and not entirely focused on generating shields and getting cards into the soul. Almost like they're just kind of byproducts of his attacks that he's working with, and not a main focus of the deck. So that goes through Bartosz. 12 to 13 into our Dorinthea player with 3 counters on the Dawn Blade. Now 3 Tunic counters as well, which means that Bartosz has access to an additional energy this turn, should he need it. Our Prism player, if you can note, only has 1 counter, so he will not have access to energy for a couple turns. And with the way this game is looking, we may not make it there. Prism player may not get 2 extra turns here. Is definitely incentivized to prevent this Dawn Blade from hitting twice. Now Bartosz though might not have the ability to give this Dawn Blade go again this turn. So if I was Dung here, I might consider over blocking and getting rid of all of these counters. That could swing this game right back around. So here we go. So actually spoils the war there into the bin. Bartosz doesn't even care about giving this go again. Or maybe that means he's got a glint there in arsenal or hand. But plow through and then Dawn Blade. So 9 total going in. And a very scary attack here for our Prism player. Ooh, there we go. Yep. Gonna defend for 10. All 4 cards out of the hand. Very incentivized here to not let this Dawn Blade hit and not give it counters. We already see Bartosz put the Spoils of War in the bin. So Bartosz going to go with the Sinking Steel Blade to give it +1. So still 10 to 10 right now. So mathing out here. +1 because our Prism player defended with an attack action card. A nice effect there for plow through. Not the super common card, but actually going to come into effect here. So Sinking Steel Blade, going to go ahead and allow Bartosz here to find an attack reaction card. I'm hoping this is a, well, it doesn't have the energy left, so it's going to probably be an Iron Song response here if he's got him still left in the deck. He needs a 0-cost card. It goes to advantage, so he has to play it this turn, or he loses it. Actually, it's not even this turn, it's this Chain Link. So yep, there's the Iron Song response, coming in for another 3. So 14 total to a block of 10. So our Prism player is going to fall down to 9. We'll get these life totals fixed there. Bartosz considering they should have played Glint and attacked once again. And we will fix life totals. 1 second here. Hey guys, hey Bartosz here. All right, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to get a little game state correction, but we're all good. We're good to go. And yeah, make sure we get a shuffle in there and a correction of the life totals. But who do you have in this match right now? It's coming down to the wire, as most classic constructed matches do. So that's always always a big fun point about this format is that the games go long, but they are usually down to the wire on both sides. So right now, Bartosz was actually mentioning that he was a little bit upset. And then he couldn't just glint and swing again there from the Dawn Blade. He didn't have any extra resources floating to be able to attack again, so would not have been able to, but was wanting to try to get an additional counter there on the Dawn Blade. We're going back to Bartosz's turn because our Prism player blocked all 4 cards out of the hand and could only pass his turn and draw back up. So Bartosz has complete tempo control. So my money is has swung definitely towards our Dorinthea player here. But we got Warrior's Valor Dawn Blade coming in for 7 total. Thanks to the 3 counters. That is a blue Warrior's Valor there. And then Stroke of Foresight. Allow Bartosz there to cycle a card. And the block for 9 is not going to be enough over 10. So Bartosz gets the 1 over. Has to go again. Thanks to Warrior's Valor and the attack hitting. Bartosz pitches the Command and Conquer to attack for 6. What a scary Dawn Blade that is. That thing's seen some action. Dong's going to go ahead and block 1 with the Skullcap and 3 from a card from hands. Fall 2 and get another counter there to the Dawn Blade. So our Prism player now is pretty much in a loop. They have blocked the last 2 turns, all 4 cards out of their hands, and are still losing life. So they're at 6 life now. We're going to go back into our Prism player. They're going to draw up and then go right back into Bartosz's with 4 counters on this Dawn Blade. And you have to think every swing here is going to get at least a card out of the hands. But and most likely it's going to get 2 or 3. Dung needs to just rip these counters off if he can, which it might not even physically be possible at this stage. It might be one of the cases of too late. He's going to try, though. Defense, actually, he only goes for 3. I think he would have been super incentivized to throw all 4 cards out there and just hope your opponent couldn't give it go again. But Stroke of Foresight going to go ahead and come in there, give it +3. So 10 to 9, cycle a card out. And that will allow the Dawn Blade to hit, so it will come over for 1. It will not lose its counter there. Oh, but Bartosz is going to add another +1. Thanks to Out of Blood. So 11 total into a 9 block. So our Prism player here is looking to take 2 damage unless they have a defense reaction. They don't. So we have 12 to 4. But Dung now has a card in hand, so hopefully it's something pretty valuable that he can use, he can work with. He's going to have a Tunic energy. Now, he may get in for an attack. Is not going to have enough energy to do it, even with the Tunic mana, so it's going to Arsenal and pass back over to Bartosz, who's now swinging lethal with his Dawn Blade every attack. And for those that can see it, is 4 counters, so 7 damage total, which means 1 card out of the hand is not enough to keep us alive. It's going to be 2 cards out of the hand every time as the chip away continues until our Prism player is slowly going to get whittled out here. So Steel Blade Supremacy there from Bartosz. +2, whenever it hits, draw a card. So that's going to raise this up to 9. Oh, that is a scary Dawn Blade. It got sharpened. A new meaning to sharpen steel, I'll tell you that. So 9 coming in if it hits draw a card. Now our Prism player blocks all 4 from hand for 11. Has a 2 blocker in there. Bartosz only needs to find 4 damage total. He's got 2 cards in hand and 1 card in his arsenal. Could definitely make it happen with the reactions that he has left. So Steel Blade right now. And he's going to go find a reaction. Probably a Glint here this time. Or no, excuse me. Probably an Iron Song response. Ooh, you know what? I just put my foot in my mouth because I got it wrong twice. And it's a route. And that should do it. Gonna bump back one of the cards with 3 defense. Bring the block down to... Oh boy. Yeah, down to 8. Thank you. So 13 to 8. And that should carry enough damage over. And so unless our Prism player here has a defense reaction, that'll do it. Just double check here on the math and... So 13 to 8 is the final count there. And that should be lethal. Okay, that'll do it. Yep, our Prism player concedes. So just wanted to they just double checked on the mat there, and so Bartosz cleans it out with a solid last couple of turns and a route to just completely blow this Prism player out. But hey, he gave it a good try and he tried to make it happen. Dunn gave it a good shot, but more of an aggro strategy on the Prism did not match well against our warrior player here, Bartosz. So Bartosz takes round 1, and that will do it here for us in round 1. And we'll catch you guys in round 2. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, and welcome to round 2 of Uncharted Realms weekly event. I'm Brent Kitchen alongside streamer to be named, and we're excited to bring you coverage of Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Out of the Box Gaming is local to Thomasville, North Carolina. They have in-store play and a marketplace for trading cards singles. So if you need some more cards to switch up after getting blasted at your local Road to Nationals, check out of the Box Gaming in person or at outoftheboxgaming.com. So round 2 here, we saw round 1, we saw Bartosz with Dorinthea take it over, done on Prism. And right now we've got another Dorinthea player with Oscar at the bottom of your screen there against Jeremy on Boltyn. So a lot of Warrior today. There's actually a lot of Warrior at my event yesterday, or Road to Nationals event. Warrior actually ended up taking the day. Dorinthea did. How did your events go? Those of you still hanging around, sitting there in chat, let me know. How did your Road to Nationals go? And who do you have in this game, Dorinthea or Boltyn? My money's on Warrior, but we will see who actually comes out on top at the end of the day. So we got a nice 4-round event for you here. So if those of you just tuning in, you didn't miss much. We're starting into round 2. And this one's nice and quick. All of our players were like, hey, you know what? It's a heavy event kind of month. We're just going to come in and speed run some classic constructed games. So, hey, not too shabby. And it looks like Jeremy is rocking Raiden. Look at that. I like it. It's not going to be a lot of double attack Boltyns, but, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. Some say Dawn Blade's just better. Yeah, I kind of hate to agree with them, but hey, we're going to see what Jeremy's got. He's going to try to bring the heat, but he's going to bring the heat next turn as Oscar starts out with a pumped up Dawn Blade swing for 6 and go again. This looks almost like the almost feels, you know, driving blade. It kind of feels like the Axie kind of Dorinthea, but opting for Dawn Blade instead. So Warrior v Warrior matchup, he may have made some key tech changes there. I think that would be huge, you know, maybe just have your side blade or side blade. You know, not just one blade, your side blade. Hey. But no, have your sideboard just complete switch up of the matchups. That'd be pretty sick. Just have a package, you know, call it that package sideboard. Switch there from Axes to Dawnblade. So this one definitely has go again. A little bit of a confirmation on what's coming through. And Jeremy's going to opt to take it. So takes 6, falls to 34. So first blood there for Oscar. Nice, slicing and dicing already. And it's going to come in. And come right back in for 3. No pump this time. 1 card in hand. Jeremy does draw up at the end of this turn, so he must really like what he sees in his hand. Definitely considering keeping all of the pieces here and just soaking up damage on turn 1 gives Oscar a huge advantage. Throws 2 out there to block 5 and kept 2 cards in his hand. So opting to mulligan 2 out. He did overblock it, and Oscar was fine with that. Arsenal and drew up. Jeremy did not seem happy with his draw. Kept his choice words for himself, but you could definitely catch the theme of what he was thinking. So I agree. I think Dorinthea is probably favored in this matchup from this look from the Raiden. But we'll see. Hopefully Jeremy here can prove us wrong. So Jeremy starts right away with the Halo to charge up. It's actually not a charge. It's a put a card into your soul. So this actually will not proc the Raiden here, the weapon, because it is not a charge. So something we gotta keep in mind. So red Valiant Thrust. So 7 total, and +1 if it's blocked by an attack action, which should not. Oh, excuse me. Actually, we gotta correct this. Hold on. All right, there. So just a little clarification there. Valiant Thrust was not charged because Halo of Illumination, as we said, puts a card into the soul. So that Valiant Thrust only came in for 4, and Oscar opted to take it. So down 36 to 34. Charge, for those of you playing along at home, good thing to remember is charge is specifically on the keyword of charge. Putting something in your soul is not considered to have charged. So if you're playing in any upcoming events, keep that in mind. So over to Oscar's turn, who did take 4 damage there, so 36 to 34. But he's going to start in with a Spoils of War to give his Dawnblade +2 go again. So 5 total, has an energy floating, and 2 cards in hand. And 1 in Arsenal to work with. His Tunic counters remain at 2, or got raised to 2 this turn. So won't have access to that, but critically no counters on the Dawnblade, which is what we're going to be keeping an eye on. Bartosz, in our last game, in round number 1 here, got 4. Kept 4 total counters on his Dawnblade and didn't lose the counters 1 time, so it was pretty impressive. So no blocks here from Jeremy into a Soul Shield. Wants to keep the cards in his hand, but Oscar going to go ahead and react with a red Overpowered, thanks to Reprise turning on, to come in for some extra damage. 5 of it's going to trample over, thanks to Overpowered ability. So 6 came over there, plus the 5 that started, gives us an 11 into a 6 block, and that's where that 5 came from. So 29 to 36. And Jeremy, our Boltyn player, is not off to a hot start. I'm hoping he has something brewing up and coming over, as the Dawnblade came in again and wisely did not want to give it a counter. Blocked with the card out of the hand there. As we move over into his turn, after Oscar draws up, Jeremy's only going to have one card to work with. And is yet again not happy with his hands. Some more choice words, but yeah, he appears not to have a super good hands, and his opponent unfortunately seems to have a very good hand. So Jeremy's opting just to pass and draw up. So back to Oscar, who now has a huge tempo lead in this game. We saw this in the later stages of round one there, as our Prism player was doing the same, just drawing, passing and drawing for his turns. But we are just started. We're early. So this is not looking too good here for our Boltyn player to start. But Oscar, yet again, another Spoils of War onto the Dawnblade. So 5 go again, which is just super scary. So 1 card in hand, no energy floating, 1 card in arsenal, but his tunic is at 3 counters, so does have the option to do there. No blocks, no reactions. Oscar seems happy with that. Down to 5. He can come back in again with the Dawnblade. Yep. Takes the counters off the tunic. Come in with the Dawnblade for 3. And I think he's kind of showing the fact that he has an attack reaction. He seems right. He seems chomping. Oscar seems chomping at the bit here. But Jeremy's not going to let him do it. All right. At least won't trigger reprise. Takes the 3, and that will give our Dawnblade a counter here. And Oscar passes it back over to Jeremy. So Jeremy took a lot of damage that turn and effectively went down in resources thanks to the fact that Dawnblade got a counter, but does have cards to work with now. So let's see if we can't get one of these big Boltyn turns. His tunic is at 3 counters as well, so has a lot of energy to work with, and the card in arsenal. So hopefully this hand is a little bit better than those other ones he was mentioning earlier. It's not going to be, or we're not going to see a huge, we're not going to see the crazy 27 swing, gain 11 life Boltyn, thanks to the fact that those are, that's mainly done on axes. But it is, or sabers, whichever one, I forget which one it actually is, but possibly both actually on that. Relies a lot on Luminaris, or not Luminaris, Lumina's Ascension, to give his ability to swing multiple times. Jeremy's thinking about what he wants to do. Needs a huge hand here, or needs a huge turn, just in general. And the hand, the hand's how you get that huge turn. Is definitely gonna want to sequence this correctly to get maximum value. Needs to do something here to get back into this game. He's already sitting at a 15 life deficit, which when you consider what 15 life means, it's about a whole turn. He did take the turn off when he just drew up, and Oscar made the most of it. So Jeremy's gonna have to somehow claw that back in his direction. He's got an uphill battle here. It seems that our Dory player is favorably matched. Yet again, so round 1 we saw Dory versus Aggro Prism seems favorably matched for the Dory player, and now we see Dory v Boltyn, and so far it's going Dory's way. But Jeremy might have something to say about it. Via Vanguard, charging 2 out of the hand. So everything in this chain link, or in this combat chain, gets +2, including Via the Vanguard. So 5 going into attack reactions. Jeremy's giving it go again. Looking to increase the width of this turn. Needs to really come out here with 2 attacks. Beacon of Victory. Okay, as an attack reaction. So it gives a +1. because he only banished one card out of the soul. I would have hoped he's got two other cards in there. I kind of would have hoped he would have taken a couple more out, but he is going to go get that Lumina's Ascension. So maybe I stand corrected here. We may see those giant swinging turn. Just doesn't even care about the rating. So 6 coming in total right now. Oscar takes the 6. And so the only problem here I see with this turn is that the V of Vanguard is going to lose its pump effect when this combat chain closes thanks to Lumina's Ascension. So V of Vanguard is not going to pump the rest of the stuff once Jeremy casts this. So 2 Luminas go in. There we go. And Raiden's coming in for 5. Thanks to Lumina's giving it +1. So 2 Luminas give it +1. The combat chain was closed, so V doesn't pump it up. So those should be in the graveyard, but we'll let it lead for now. And if the weapon hits, he'll get 2 looks at the top, and he'll put them in the soul and gain a life if they're a light card. So just a little confirmation there from our players on what the rules on the Luminas was. So Oscar's going to go ahead and just block with 1 card from hand. And Jeremy gets a go again. He can attack another 2 times with this Raiden. Didn't trigger the first Luminas on hit.
Oh, he used...
Oh, excuse me. He used armor as well on that one. All right. Just didn't put it up there, so I missed it. So he blocked both of those fully thanks to his armor. Oscar did. I'm getting that's why the money man himself, streamer to be named, is the guy running the show. So keeps it all in check. So Oscar using his whole hand there, blocked for 6 to prevent any sort of crazy business. So that's exactly the turn Jeremy needed. Well done. I was feeling for him. I was hurting, but got himself that entire turn back, thanks to the fact that Oscar used his whole hand to block. So counters fell off the Dawnblade, as Oscar could only draw up and pass the turn. So Jeremy now, just with a bat, just went and beat that tempo right back into his side of the field. And now hopefully he comes in and can continue to keep the pressure on, and our Dory player we might see our first Dory loss of the day. So cross the line coming in 5. It was charged. Thanks to as an additional cost, you may charge. So no go again as it stands. Jeremy's gonna no block it, or excuse me, Oscar's gonna no block it, and Jeremy shouldn't have. Besides the Snapdragon, thanks to the fact that Oscar didn't block it with an attack action. So we'll have to crack the Snapdragons to give it a go again. Ooh, and now we see Jeremy coming in with a Steel Blade Shunt to block 6 of it. So no pointed damage back, thanks in fact to it not being a weapon attack, but an attack action that came in. But Jeremy's going to use his go again to come in for Raiden for 3. No blocks there by Oscar. Jeremy gives it go again. And I would think that he might have a potion. Oh, no. Another Valiant Thrust. All right. This one's yellow this time, though. So it should come in for a total of 6. And that is another wonderfully sequenced turn there by Jeremy. 5 off the cross the line. 3 off Raiden. And 6 off the Valiant Thrust gives us, what was that, 14 damage turn, and to even the life back out 21-21. So, made excellent use of his ability to get his turn back. So we got ourselves a game, folks. I thought this was slowly going in Dory's favor and was going to be another unstoppable route, but, Boltyn said, hey, wait a minute. So over to Oscar's turn. We got a Steel Blade into Dauntless, into Dawnblade. So eight total. Has hit effects. If it hits, draw a card. And defense reactions do cost 1 extra. So Jeremy will have to keep that in mind if he's got some Sync Belows sitting around or some Soul Shields waiting in his hand. He's double checking, seeing what Oscar might have available to do to him if Jeremy responds to this. No cards in hand there for Oscar, so Jeremy is going to throw out. Appears to be only 1 card. So far, only 3 on the block. It seems Jeremy does have a defense reaction here. Yep. There we go. Got the shunt. So Oscar will take a damage there, and it will block 9. So Jeremy gets a little bit of a life advantage here now. All right, Jeremy takes the lead, 21-20. Back into his turn, though, Jeremy is not going to have the best turn. Only has the 1 card in hand, so ended up getting his turn back, but then has now unfortunately lost the turn. Now, I didn't lose any life on that one, but has given up tempo advantage yet again. We saw he was able to easily get it back, so he may not be too concerned about that, but Oscar, I have a feeling, is about to just run through with this. So Warrior's Valor, Dauntless, Dawnblade. If it hits, go again. +3, and 3, so that's 9 total. And defense reactions cost an additional 1. We saw that in play there with the Steel Blade Shunt. Pitch to yellow, had no resources floating. That Jeremy did on the previous turn. Technically previous 2 turns, because we did go to Jeremy's turn there. So Oscar has no energy floating and only 1 card in hand, but does have 3 counters on the Tunic, which is critical if he's got a attack reaction card in hand to get this over from 9. Now, if he does that, he won't have the energy to swing again with the Dawnblade unless he can draw a card with that reaction. But Jeremy opting not to block, wants to try to get that turn back. Going to use his health as a resource there and take 9. So he falls to 12, and now Oscar has go again and is deciding what he wants to do. Don't know why he didn't. I guess he's keeping the Dauntless there in case defense reaction again. So Tunic pop. Dawnblade's coming in. I think that might be an Iron Song response there in Oscar's hand. With the way he's playing this, I think that's a 0 cost attack reaction. But I always get beat by Dorinthea, so what do I know? Jeremy deciding how he wants to block this. It is only for 3, but it will provide a counter there for the Dawnblade should it hit. Jeremy is blocking, throwing Brave Forge and Express Lightning in front of it, so it's not an Iron Song response, or at least it's not a situation where Oscar wants to throw it out there. We'll have to keep an eye on, see what the Arsenal card actually is. But Jeremy was able to prevent the counter, so that was a pretty good job there by him. Was definitely incentivized to not let that counter happen. It took a small risk, but it paid off. So Take Flight, charge is effective. So it has a go again and 4. Jeremy's looking to do another wide turn here, hopefully. Knock these life totals back down to even, and we're starting to get into that grindy zone here where players can't quite choose to soak up all these hits. May come some turns where the Boltyn players specifically might just be able to come in for a solid 20-something, and then you're going to be sitting there a little bit sad if you're the Tory player there. So Oscar, no defense there. Takes the 4. So Jeremy comes in with a Battlefield Blitz with 5 go again. And then remember, as a follow-up after this, you're going to see Raiden for 3. Thanks in the fact that this has go again. So a solid 12-point turn here from Jeremy. Not too shabby, especially when life totals are at 20-12. So Oscar here, there's no more cards in Jeremy's hand, so Oscar should have complete information about what's coming here and next, and should be able to make a solid decision based on that. Now, he does have some life total to work with here. If he takes the 5 and takes the 3, so takes 8, he'll fall to 8, but still have 3 cards in his hand. And it appears that he's considering that pretty intently. Oscar can use his health here to, no blocks, to just keep these cards in his hand and come back in with a huge turn to prevent Jeremy from even having another turn in this game. If Oscar can represent over 12 damage on his next turn, he can effectively close this game out, forcing Jeremy to pull cards from his hands and not have anything left to do on his own turn. So Oscar blocking 1 with the Skull Cap, thanks in part that he is now down under Jeremy's life total, and will take 2 and fall to 9. So 12 to 9. Jeremy did a good job getting the life totals back down, but now he's gonna face a scary Oscar here with 4 total cards in hand and 1 card in arsenal. He's gonna start it up here with 1 with Dawnblade. Oh boy, this screams attack reactions. This screams in chat. Who do you got here now that we're in the 11th hour? Which warrior player do you have? I still think Dory probably takes this one, but hopefully Jeremy can correct me on this. But Oscar coming in just with the Dory. Oscar may need Jeremy to throw cards out of their hands, so now we got a mind games here. Jeremy gonna overblock it by 6. And Oscar liked it. It was a glint in Arsenal, not an Iron Song response, which is why Oscar didn't fire it off last time. But this time it will give it go again. And he was able to draw. So Oscar keeps the turn going, but no damage here. Does not want to follow up with any more reactions. But does have now go again. So, Nourishing Emptiness. Look at that there from Oscar. So, no attack reactions in this Dory Dawnblade focused deck. So, Nourishing Emptiness will have Dominate, and if it hits, +1 Intellect until the end of the turn. Look at that. Oscar playing around this rather well. Had the card in hand thanks, a big fact that it might have been his only play thanks to Dawnblade not hitting, not allowing it to be able to swing again. But Jeremy falls to 6, and that will allow Oscar to draw up 5 cards. He only drew up 4 because he couldn't get rid of all the cards out of his hand. He arsenaled 1 and kept 1, but still 5 cards total out of the hand. Now Jeremy comes back with the Command and Conquer, which is his 2 cards from the hand. Pitching a Celestial Cataclysm, it appears. If this one hits, Oscar will lose his arsenal card. But I'm not sure Oscar even cares if this one hits and he loses his arsenal cards. He just has 5. He's got 5 cards total to work with. Yeah, and no blocks there. Not surprised here by Oscar. He knows that this Command and Conquer can't go again. And it appears a Sharpened Steel out of Arsenal. Ooh, that could have been a scary turn there from Jeremy, or scary turn there for Jeremy, even with that. But Oscar still has 5 cards to work with, keep in mind, as we go into this turn. So Iron Song Termination, +1 Dominate. This might end the game right here if we can get this Dawnblade up high enough. Ooh, only a Plow Through Dawnblade swing. The nice thing is Plow Through the +1, we'll probably see effective again. So 7 total. This Plow Through gives it 3. Iron Song Termination 1. And Dawnblade for 3. So 7 total. And it has Dominate, but no go again at the moment. You'd have to think, but Oscar does have Refraction Bolters. For those that were already screaming at me, yelling at your computer. You beat me to it. Jeremy has to, that's onboard information, so Jeremy's got to expect to take at least another Dawn Blade attack. So does not want to fall below 3. And it really all comes down to what Jeremy thinks Oscar's got in his hand. Ooh, blocking 5 of it. Wants to keep his health total, keep his health higher, but that is going to keep, critically, this is going to keep Jeremy above that 3, so a basic Dawn Blade attack itself will not be lethal. So Jeremy, oh, excuse me, he took 3, he was at 6, he is down to 3. Well, hold on a second. I must have only been a block for 4. Let me, let's get a correction on life totals there. Hold on a second, guys. I had missed it. It was a +1 from the plow through. So that's where we had the extra one. So it was a total of 8 after blocks to 5 defense. So then Jeremy fell down to 3. And then Jeremy should not be able to. So it has now another swing coming in. And Jeremy's just trying to stay alive. He said he couldn't likely stay alive in this turn, but then figured it out. Oh, yep. Okay, so here we go. Stroke of Foresight. And the plow through critically there, it's until the end of turn. It also gets +1. So that will do it for us there. Sorry about that. I know you Dory players are out there yelling at the screen going, come on, guy. And I hear you. I agree with you. But Oscar got it there. Dorinthea did take the day. That's what I thought would happen. I was hoping maybe we'd see a Boltyn get in there, get a little bit of action happening, but couldn't quite seal the deal. He tried, but the Dawn Blade takes it yet again, and that will do it here for us in round number 2. Did you get it right? Let me know if your hero won. But that will close it out here for us in round 2. Remember, this Uncharted Realms brings you Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Check out Out of the Box Gaming at outoftheboxgaming.com, and we'll catch you guys in round number 3. Hey everyone, and welcome to Uncharted Realms weekly event. I'm Brent, alongside Streamer to the Name, sitting in the awesome production booth, and we're excited to bring you guys rounds 3 of Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Out of the Box Gaming is a store local to Thomasville, North Carolina. They specialize in in-store play and trading card singles. So if you see a deck you like on stream, or if you're having flashbacks to that Road to Nationals event where you just got bodied, check out of the Box Gaming in person at outoftheboxgaming.com and get yourself those pieces that you need to make sure that does not happen again and you walk away with the invite this time. You know, no more top 8s losing in the first round. But anyways, back to our gameplay here. We got a name that should be familiar to most of you. Bartosz, yet again, is going to grace us with his presence. Dorinthea, he'll be our top player there, and Dexter, who's playing Boltyn. So another Boltyn v Dory matchup here in round number 3. And this is going to be a little bit different style to the Boltyn this time. It's going to be Sabers Boltyn, so more combo-y, looking for more for the Lumina and gain a lot of life, hit a lot of time. So going to try to just get swingy out here. So appears that Dexter's going to have our turn 1 player. He will. And he's going to start out with the V. Not a bad start. Look at this. Watch this be V in the Luminas. I would be super excited to see that off of turn 1. But no, so we got a pitch of the take flight to this. So that's his pitch zone there. It's a little bit shrink space there Dexter has. But other than that, so we look at this. Dexter told us that he was still learning. Rocking some of the more common equipment over there, but iron rod helms for the helmet. But, you know, everybody starts somewhere. And so V for the Vanguard is going to charge 1 card. And I didn't catch what card he charged, but it doesn't appear to be a light card. Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and step in there real quick, guys. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. We just a little bit of clarification there. So Via the Vanguard does specify each light card charge this way. So in a good competitive spirit there, Bartosz allowed his opponent to walk it back and do a light card, which was another Via of the Vanguard. Very, very nice there. Very nice there by Bartosz, as his opponent is still learning the game. So 1 Via the Vanguard, 1 Saber came in, but Bartosz was incentivized to block with his whole hand, thanks in part to his going to be drawing it up at the end of the turn, thanks to being the turn 2 player. So no harm, no foul there overall. Got a little correction. Bartosz has some information that he normally wouldn't have. He does know what that last card is in the hand, or it wasn't arsenaled here, so it is in the hand. And we go, you know, we're here trying to have a fun competitive environment, so little mistakes like that, we ask to see if our players want to walk it back and have a little bit of a higher quality game. And so Bartosz, being a regular, definitely opts for that. So on his turn, though, he's going to start off with a awesome Nourishing Emptiness. So 6 dominate. His opponent does have the option to block some from hand, so, but he will have a Steel Blade Shunt there to be able to block all 6 of it. So Dexter's going to go ahead and pay with the Overpowered, and here comes with the Steel Blade Shunt. So this may be a tougher match there to watch for those of you out there. My money's kind of solidly on the Dorinthea in this matchup. Who do you think you got here? I will say before you make a judgment that Dexter did want everybody to know that he is still learning. So cut him a little slack and see if we can't help him out. All right. Trying to figure out what he just attacked. I didn't recognize the card, but so it is coming for 3, and he was charged. If it hits, he'll draw a card. So, Bolt of Courage. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. But Bartosz is going to try to navigate his way through the game, help Dexter out there as they're playing, and just kind of have a fun game. So, you know, maybe Dexter sneaks one away here from our Dorinthea player. You never know. That's the nice thing about Flesh and Blood, is really anybody can come in and kind of win a game. You see it more often than not on chain players. I'm about to throw you guys some shade, but you know how it goes. The chain players don't know what they're playing. They come out, they do well at the events, because you know what? Who needs good play when you just got a whole new hand built for you at the start of every turn? I jest though. I jest. Every hero takes some skill to learn and skill to play. So don't hate me too much there, chain players. But I will rib you a little bit. Flavor of the month ribbing. Flavor of the month. But so Bartosz coming in, Steelblade Supremacy, +2, and if it hits, draw a card. Dawnblade coming in for 5. So Bartosz just gonna start the chip away. This is likely gonna be a grindy matchup here. Thanks in part to the fact that the Boltyn look here does look more combo-y, and will be incentivized to block a lot as he builds up individual pieces, and Dorinthea by itself is more of a grindy hero. But maybe not. Maybe Bartosz can work through this. So Bartosz given +3 there, thanks to the Razor's Reflex, actually the defense. It will allow the Dawnblade to hit and give it... Ooh, it does not Gingo again. Sorry, because it's the top mode of it, just +3. So Bartosz will have to destroy his bolters, but he will come in for another attack. He will plus it up by another 1. So this one's coming in for 6. If it hits, draw a card. So a card that he draws wouldn't he wouldn't be able to play it this turn because his Dawnblade doesn't have go again. But Bartosz on this draw, if it does hit, would be able to put that in arsenal and bank it for a future turn. So Dexter comes over, block 6, 6 to 6, and Bartosz crucially does not get a counter there, and doesn't get an extra card resource there. So Dexter was very incentivized to block there, but it cost him a lot of cards out of the hand. So now we move into Dexter's turn, and we'll likely see him not come in with too many attacks. Illuminate. Straight up. If it hits, goes your soul. It should be the only card in Dexter's hand. So this should be the only attack Bartosz has to contend with. Likely wants to keep it out of the soul. Yep, opts to take 4. So it doesn't really mind that it goes to the soul. Dexter's not able to give that... Well, he is able to give that go again with Snapdragons if he wanted to, but no other cards in hand and no resources means that he wasn't going to do it. But so back into Bartosz's turn. Tunics at 3. And now he's gonna load up on this Dawnblade and... Oh yeah, really loading up on this Dawnblade this time. Try to come in. I hope Dexter has some defenses here ready. Defense reactions ready, because they're just coming in for 9 this time. And defense reactions though cost 1 extra, so he'll need some resources. He'll need some resources for it. Bartosz showing 1 card in hands. No cards in arsenal thanks to the block last turn from Dexter there. He's got that card kind of out there, you know. I don't know. I'm not a body language expert, but it almost makes me think he's ready to play it. So Fate Foreseen is normally a 0-cost card, but thanks in part to Dauntless, it does cost an extra 1. So Dexter had to pitch, opted to pitch an energy potion for it. And Dexter will opt. Just a run through reactions. So just a walkthrough on blocking and reactions, just to make sure that there was no other defenses there before they opt. So opt goes to the bottom there by Dexter. Did not like it. Audibly did not like it. A huge sigh there by our Boltyn player. And Bartosz will still take, or will still trample over 5 damage. Send it to 32 to 36. Dawnblade did hit, but fortunately, no other go again or ways to come at him. So Bartosz will have to end the turn and send it over to Dexter. Dexter's opportunity now to get a big attack in here. So Engulfing Light to start. Charge is active. That was a Sink Below he charged. Ooh. Did not want the defense reactions there. He had the defense reaction in hand. May have forgot that Dauntless only triggers on the next card you play, but did have the energy for Fate Foreseen. Had 2 energy floating there on the energy potion as well, so that probably shouldn't have played an effect. Could have Sinked Below there, but opted instead to keep the Sink Below in his hand so he could charge this. Ooh, sorry about that. Excuse me there, guys. Giant sneeze. Somebody's talking about me. Maybe it's a cute lady sitting at home with a dog or something. I don't know. But a couple cats. I don't know. That seems kind of much. But anyways, that did it for Dexter's turn. Needed the card in hand there as an additional resource to pitch, so that Dauntless actually was pretty big there for Bartosz. If you notice, he couldn't Fate Foreseen and Sink Below for free. So Dexter opting for some damage to be able to put some damage back. And now he's, staring at even more damage back at himself. But he does have 4 cards in his soul to work with on a combo turn. So we may be building towards that. So 6 coming at, no blocks, no reaction so far from either player. And into damage. Dexter taking 6, down to 26, 33 to 26. Bartosz draws. And Dawnblade now has go again, thanks to the fact that it hit. So Bartosz now trying to sink with more attacks in. How much more damage can he put in this turn? Has the resource there from the Tunic as a swing potential. So look at that. Sharpened Seal, another 3. It's free, so doesn't even have to worry about it. What a great card. And there's that energy from the Tunic to get the swing. So a +5 to this Dawnblade attack. So 8 total right now. And on hit, Bartosz will draw a card. Now, he does have a card in arsenal and a card in hand, so the draw likely won't matter too much here. Dexter declares no blocks. Bartosz is super incentivized to fire off any reactions that he has, but opts not to. And Dexter will fall down to 18. Bartosz was incentivized to play cards out of the hand there, or even out of the arsenal, because he was ready to refresh them on the draw, and especially the on-hit effect there. So by choosing not to fire anything off, if he had the option to, he effectively misses out on an extra card or 2 on the next turn. Because he could have played that one, that's a resource that I considered, used. And then just have a nice clean hand after that. But Bartosz doesn't fire off. Maybe needed reprise there, and Dexter didn't allow it to trigger. Dexter opted to keep his whole hands and looking for a huge attack here. And this may be the combo turn he was looking for. Let's see if he's got those Lumina's Ascensions. Well, he's going to start it off with Bolt of Courage. It's coming in for 1. If it hits, draw a card thanks in part that he charged this turn. It does not have Go Again at the moment, but Dexter does have Snapdragons to give it Go Again. This kind of indicates to me this is probably not Illumina's turn. But Dexter's sitting with a lot of cards in soul there. This is not a super favorable matchup to Boltyn as it is, thanks in part to the fact that Dorinthea doesn't usually play attack action cards. Where Boltyn really finds his money is playing against decks with attack actions that they can then use to get the +1 and then give Go Again. Okay, so I stand corrected. Look at this. Dexter's going to go ahead and banish 5 cards. Thanks to Beacon. And he can go ahead and search. So he's going to get the damage over, right? And then he's going to go ahead and find, I would assume, Lumina's Ascension. So 6 over 5 means 1's going to carry over. We'll see what card he goes and gets. I would assume here it's Illumina's. That's generally what Beacon goes and grabs, and you just combo it off. But Dexter may not have the resources available to continue a turn like that. Nope, he's doing it. They're gonna fire it off with just one. So we're about ready to see some sabers coming in here. I hope that's a blue pitch there in his hands. Let's see a big turn here from Dexter. I'm hoping for it. I'm wanting it. I want to see what he can do. So the first one's actually not even going to get through because Bartosz has a defense reaction. Springboard Somersault, one of those Crucible cards that I know a lot of people have been waiting on. And so no damage tramples over. And I assume we're going to see this Lumina Ascension come out. It will give his weapons +1, and they can attack multiple times this turn. Oh, no. No, he arsenaled it and drew. Okay. So draws 3. Did not want to fire off that turn. Possibly did not have a blue pitch to come in with multiple sabers. Just really wants to stack up a turn. Dexter did use all of the whole soul. Yeah, Martin, I should not probably have used the whole soul. Definitely needs the soul for future turns, especially on his combo turn to give go agains, to get those energies back or get those action points back. But Dexter did mention, if you're just following, that he is rather new, so he may have blew his load a little bit early, so to speak. So Dawnblade coming in for 4. Soul Shield throwing down at the moment. So Bartosz was considering that he may have had an attack reaction that he wanted to fire off prior to the Soul Shield, but doesn't want to. Just making sure that in future turns we just go through the steps as they are. So Bartosz coming in, Iron Song response, red, so +3. So that brings us up to 7-6. There should not be 3 resources floating. Should be no resource floating, but Soul Shield will go to Soul though here. So our Boltyn player will at least have 1 card in Soul to work with to give go again. I'm hoping he can get some more in there. We know he's got Illumina's Ascension either in hand or in the arsenal. We don't know exactly where it went. 50-50 on that. I would assume it went to arsenal, but I could be corrected. So that did it for Bartosz's turn. Sitting pretty happy on 1 Dawnblade counter. Going to Dexter's turn, and he opted just to draw up. Didn't like what he saw in that hand specifically. Really still setting up the combo. And then we got Bartosz leading off with a Warrior's Valor red. So if this hits, attack-ins go again. +3. Plus a Dauntless, another 3. Ooh, this is stacking up to be pretty big. This is a 10 attack right now, straight up. Bartosz just trying to keep the pressure on, not letting this combo set up, which is the super right way to do it. Bartosz not taking any chances here, not slowing this down at all. Just pedal to the metal, as is his right and ability to do. 2 cards in hand left, no tunic counters, so maybe 1 reaction. But remember, this Dawnblade will have go again after this hit. It's not likely that Dexter can get 10 block here or even wants to. Dexter blocks for 7 with equipment and 2 cards out of the hand. So Reprise is triggered. No attack reactions declared. into Dexter's. That could have been big there to stop this 10, but no, it doesn't, is not able to. So 3 come over, down to 14 falls Dexter. Bartosz has go again on this Dawnblade, looking to try to get that second counter. I don't think he can beat his current record of 4, but he's going to try. Bracer's coming through with the Dawnblade again. Woo! Another 5. 10 on the first attack, 5 on the second one. So 15 total so far here from Bartosz on this turn. That's pretty disgusting. Does have an energy and a card in hand. So maybe has another thing he can throw in there. Does not want to react. Goes to Arsenal. Does not get the second one, thanks to the fact that Dexter did use his hand for that, but was definitely trying to get there. You could tell he was hunting for that counter. That would just pretty much yet again end the game, as we saw in round 1. So Dexter not able to do anything. Bartosz is starting to loop his opponents. Saw it in round 1. See it here in round 3. Where he just has complete tempo control. Dexter's trying to survive. He's trying to do what he can. Doesn't have a lot of opportunities here. Doesn't have a lot of options. Dexter's just trying to get the combo turn off. But Bartosz is not even giving him the space to breathe, let alone plan some pieces. So plow through to start, plus Warrior's Valor. It's a yellow one, so it's 5 plus the 4, so 9 total. And when Dexter blocks with an attack action card, it will get +1. And that effect is live the whole turn, as I keep forgetting in our previous rounds. So Bartosz now, this time though, does have the Tunic and 2 cards left in hand. And this could be, we could be seeing this one come to a close here in the next couple of rounds here. Dexter's going to try to fight his way through here, but this is super scary. So 9 as it is right now. Remember, Bartosz showing for 15 on the last turn, and Dexter's sitting at 14. So I would not be sitting very comfortable, not be a happy camper. Especially when my opponent's at 33 life, I would be, I'd be rather upset. But as Dexter said when we started, he's still learning, so cut him a little slack there. For those that are watching, you know, we all started from somewhere, but hopefully this is a good experience, and you know, maybe Dexter changes what warrior he plays. Bartosz comes in here and plays that Dory, and maybe we see another Dory player is born and comes out. Actually, that's a horrible thing. Maybe he sees this Dory and hates it, hopefully. all you Dory lovers out there, get him out of here. But they beat Chain. So Bartosz coming in again, this time for 5. Again, for 5. And plow through effect is still active. Keep that in mind. So Dexter is staring down a lethal attack, which is going to force some sort of action out of the hand. I would imagine. I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe he tries to just, that's his way to try to claw back in, is let it go. But with Bartosz sitting at 33 life, you'd have to think that Bartosz could just soak up everything Dexter wants to do on future turns and not use any of his own cards. So 5 for 5 at the moment. Singing Steelblade. Gives it +1. Allows Bartosz to search. So I think he can get something that triggers for 1. Out for blood. Let's see. 3. No, that wouldn't do it. Just goes for straight Iron Song response. Doesn't want to use the tunic counters to give it +3. So we go up to 9. So 4 goes over. Oh no, plow through effect should clean it up, but sorry, the +1 that effect is only on that attack, but the pump stays the whole time. Excuse me, boy, you guys are probably yelling at me too, man. Oh, that voice on my screen just sucks. I'm messing. I'm messing. But yeah, Bartosz is sitting in the commanding lead here, 33-1. Sorry about that. Yeah, plow through. You obviously can tell that's, wizard player here, right? Just tell me how much damage it does and let me know if I'm alive or dead or not, and then I'm gonna try to roast you out on my own turn. I'm gonna try to roast you out, whatever. Math is for defenders, right, folks? But anyways, so back over to Bartosz's turn, trying to Bolt of Courage, trying to do what he can. Did charge a card. It's sitting at a scary 1 life. I don't think Bartosz probably has any Steel Blade Shunts in this matchup, but he might. So combo Boltyn attacks with a lot of minor attacks and not a few big attacks, so defense reactions aren't as valuable, but as just regular cards are. But Bartosz taking 3, falls to 30. That will trigger these Snapdragons to give it go again. Dexter's trying to get some damage in there. There's that Lumina we saw a few turns ago. It did get put in the arsenal there. So +1 to the weapons, and they can swing an additional time. But goes for the V. So once I do Luminas and the Vs to keep the V for the Vanguard pump effect on the combat chain. Uses this chess piece. So Dexter's trying to do it. He's shooting a shot. Let's see if he can get there. Oh no, excuse me, that was a pitched V. Alright, so Gallant Gold after the Courage. +1 on his weapons. So they're now pumped by 2. So Centauri, first Centauri coming in. So 4 total right now. If it's offended by an attack action card, which is not likely, it'll gain +1. All right, so they cost less. And so Dexter has a chance here to gain some life. Bartosz could pretty much just let all of this happen if he wanted to. Or he could throw every card out of his hand and just keep refreshing. But is probably just going to send all the cards at, probably just going to let this happen. Because Dexter can only give 2 go again here, thanks in part to blowing the load out of the soul. Well, he should get refresh here, I'd imagine. Let's see, get some light cards. There you go. Go to the soul, gain a life, up to 2. Climb on back there, Dexter. I believe in you. So coming in with this, the saber again, another 4. Gonna go ahead and give that go again. No, wait. Yep, give it go again. There we go. Now we'll see the other saber come in. Oh, no life this time. And no soul there. Oh, does he still gain the life? Shows how much I know on the Luminas. I'll take his word for it, though. So, the second Centauri Saber, like we said, coming in. Another 4. Bartosz likely to just eat it. No blocks. So, Dexter got a shot. He got his deal. He's going to give it go again. Let's see. Get to the soul. Get to the soul. Oh, didn't get it. Ah. That's all right. That's all right. That's that's unfortunate. So, next saber. Last saber attack coming in. should have another saber attack here, I believe. He did have go again. Bartosz is just clarifying that Dexter could still attack with that saber again. Because he did give it go again. So Bartosz doing a wonderful job being a sporting player, and letting his opponent shoot a shot and give it a try. So Dexter gained another life with that card and soul. I believe it should be 14-3, but let me double check on that one. Those that play Boltyn more often. If it's a light card, put in your soul and gain 1. So I believe it should be 14-3. Because we only saw 2 light cards get put into the soul, unless I am completely blind, and 2 cards went to the bottom. So Bartosz, being a very sporting player, allowed his opponent to shoot a shot, had the life total to use as a resource there to give up for that. And now he's coming back in with a huge attack there, starting with the Iron Song Termination. Give it +1 and dominate, and thanks in part to the 2 counters, that's what makes it huge. It's going to be 6 total with dominate, so Dexter can only block 3 of it, thanks to the fact that he doesn't have any equipment, which would normally just end the game, but I think Bartosz has his opponent at 4, so we'll cast the attack reaction out of hands and end the game. And that will do it here for round 3. Thanks, guys, for sitting through that. Remember, we try to stay pretty friendly here and look out for the pets of all of our players. So thanks a lot to Bartosz there for allowing his opponent to do his thing and shoot a shot and be very friendly about it. So, it's all a learning experience for everybody. But that will close it out here for round number 3. Dorinthea, yet again, to nobody's surprise, I think, took the game. Very strong hero, very strong opponent too. So, that will close out there. So we'll catch you guys in here for round number 4. We are only doing 4 rounds today instead of 5. So stay tuned for giveaway, and we'll catch you guys on the giveaway.
All right, everybody, how's it going today? Can everyone hear me? You can't hear me. It says, okay, all right, got some sound. Let's see. All right, so for today's event, we had 10 players. We're gonna randomize this list. Go ahead and grab the names. Hello, Kevin Cowboys. My computer is messing up. There we go. Throw them in here. Take out this guy. He shouldn't win anything. He doesn't deserve it.
We don't like that guy.
Yeah, we don't like him very much. All right. We're going to go ahead and roll the dice. See how many times we're going to randomize the list. 10 times today.
Oh, boy.
It's about to be fun. All right, so we're going to take these 9 names. We're going to randomize it 10 times. Top 8 will get to pick in order. Actually, we'll give something to all 9 of you today. We'll throw something to 9. That way everyone's a winner. All right, so this is random number 1. 2. 3. 4. Oh, wow. Distracted me. I was still in the Discord call. 5.
I agree with that
6.
previous comment.
Yeah. 7. 8.
All right.
9. This week I
One
learned
more.
how to
This
count
is it.
correctly. Big number. 10.
Ooh.
Oh, here's our winners in order. Everyone's a winner, but I can paste this into Discord, and yeah, we'll get round 3 started here in a second. Oh, I should have did this timestamp thing. I've been.
It's a usual thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I usually do, but that's alright. One day I'll get this entire thing correct. I won't mess it up at all. One of these days. Alright, guys. Well, I'll get round 4 started here in a second. And I'll be PMing the winners to see what their choices are. We'll be back. Got 'em.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Uncharted Realms weekly event. I'm Brent, alongside Streamer to be named, and we're excited to bring you, last but not least, round 4 action of Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Out of the Box Gaming is a store local to Thomasville, North Carolina, and they have in-store play and a marketplace for singles online. So, if you just got roasted out at your Road to Nationals event, just got beaten back out the door, go ahead and stop by Out of the Box Gaming in person or outoftheboxgaming.com and pick up some cards to improve that deck. So that way next time it's you who gets the invite. So we're going to go ahead and start round 4 here with Bartosz yet again gracing us with his presence. This is his third time. Third time is maybe the charm for his opponent. Because so far Bartosz is undefeated, but he is yet again, for those that didn't catch the other 2 rounds, playing Dorinthea. He's against another Prism player this time. It's almost like a rinse repeat of round number 1, but this time it's Bacillus on Prism. So, maybe a different Prism look than the last time. If you remember, Bartosz did face off against a Prism player. It was more of an aggressive style of Prism. This one still remains to be seen. But Bartosz got our turn 1 play and got our first blood as well, taking 5 life from our Prism. The fact that this is a Goliath gauntlet, I see a Goliath gauntlet sitting over there, really indicates to me that this is probably a fairly aggressive Prism look as well, to be fair, and all things considered. So Bartosz coming in with that second deck. Our Prism player here must have liked those 3 cards in hand. He does get to draw them up at the end of the turn, so maybe he's sitting on one of those sweet, juicy turn 1 or turn 0 auras, technically. Ooh, gosh, could you imagine if we're about ready to see a Genesis here? Uh-oh. I willed it into existence. I'm sorry, Bartosz. I willed it. I made it happen. So Bacillus opting to take 5 damage there for a absolute monster of an aura. The key there for those watching that don't quite understand Prism is that you really want to get that Genesis down after your opponent's turn so they can't attack it and get rid of it. And so Bacillus is going to go ahead and put a card from his hand into his soul. It was an illusionist card and a light card, so he'll create both a spectral shield and draw. So he's going to have some pretty big attacks. So I sort of stand corrected. This is a defensive look, maybe a little bit of a mixture here. And Bacillus did not feel he needed the. He is against Dorinthea, so definitely did not need the gauntlets there that remove Phantasm. Unless Bartosz surprises him with a nourishing emptiness here. We do know that they are in the deck somewhere. We'll see if Bacillus keeps that in mind. So all of these are going to have go again thanks to Luminaris. And also that Prismatic Shield was afforded thanks in part to Vestige of Soul's ability there after Bacillus had put a card into the soul. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 auras in total right now. 5 of those being Spectral Shields. You thought your Kodachi was good, you Katsu players. Well, boy, do I have a better Kodachi for you. And another Herald coming in. This one looks like a Herald of Erudition. Coming across. Should be another 5. If it hits, goes to the soul. Draws 2 cards. Huge monster of a card for Prism. There it is. There's a Command and Conquer. Phantasm goes down. No resolve there and then go again. Great option there from Bartosz. That was super money, because that could have extended the Prism player's turn. But 35 to 34, we already have a 9 life total lost this game, so we are off to the races, so to speak. A very racy matchup here. Huge fan of the Prism, as I think I've mentioned a few times. But Bartosz is a strong player, so never count him out. He's got a huge uphill battle coming after here, but is incentivized to try to hit Prism, knock out all these Spectral Shields, and knock out this Genesis all in the same turn. So that will require go again and an attack at Prism first. But our Prism player is super incentivized to just block everything that comes at him, even out of the hands. As long as he's got at least one card in the hand that he can then put to Genesis, that he can then draw later, and then pay to make a Spectral Shield, he can just keep coming in every turn. That's a strength of Prism sometimes, is just like Chain, you can be incentivized to block all 12 and still just do some absolute mad damage. So Bartosz is going to have an uphill battle here after this start. So all right, sorry about that, guys. Just a little question on it. So Bartosz ended up taking on all of the shield there, and Vasilis falls to 30. And clearly Genesis is still out there on the field. There was a little bit of a discussion about gameplay, not exactly the most relevant stuff in the middle of a match. So we'll get back to the to the actual action. But it can get heated up in here. I'll tell you what. Some say the air conditioning keeps it real cool, but in fact, we know it is heated. All right, so yeah, the question was, I think I said 12 block out of the hand, all 4 cards, but it really meant only 3 cards out of the hand, so that way you had 1 left to pitch to Genesis. But we got that handled up here in the production studio. I was wrong. John was right. We got it covered. So 34 to 30. 31 to 30, excuse me. As Vasilis comes out with a tome. Draws 2, gains 3 life. Doesn't want to gain any life. Okay, never mind. 6, pitch. Uh-oh. Is that Arclight coming out? No. Merciful Retribution. 2 floating, but there's nothing left in shield, nothing left to do with it. Can't use anything out of the hand with it. And so just arsenals and pass. So Retribution means every time something is destroyed, it deals the damage. So Bartosz is... and it goes to the soul if it's a non-token light card, which is big for restacking the soul for the auras. So not exactly the biggest effect against Phantasm, which a lot of times it allows you to keep your Phantasm stuff into the soul. But in this matchup specifically, it will help these auras go back to the soul. And Bartosz is super incentivized to clean up at least the Genesis there. That is what enables a lot of the Prism stuff. It is just an absolute nasty of a card. If you're ever playing against Prism, do not let them sit with that Genesis. Genesis turn 0 is the literal best kind of opener you can have on Prism. It fuels your Vestige. It gives you something to the soul guaranteed on your turn, as long as you have a card, and allows you to make Spectral Shields. So Vasilis gonna no blocks. Bartosz thinking about reactions. So far, that's gonna be 2 shields gone, 5 damage trampled over, and Bartosz will take 2 himself. Bartosz here needs to give this Dawnblade. It looks like he wants to race, and it looks like he doesn't want to actually knock out these auras. So, another 3. So 8 trample over. Vasilis takes 8. So Bartosz doing an excellent job racing this Prism player right now. So 31 to 22. Bartosz takes 2. So 29 to 22. Thanks to Merciful Retribution there and the 2 Spectral Shields that popped. But Bartosz in general is just ignoring actually these auras and is like, hey, I think I can race you down faster than you can stack up these shields. And so far, it's working. Doing an excellent job putting the pressure on and keeping them up. But the real question is how long is that going to happen? Oh, a little bit of internet connectivity from both of them. There we go. They're back for themselves. They couldn't see each other there for a second. And Vasilis got a second Genesis here. He can stack both Genesises at the time if he wants to keep one of the cards in hand. And that's what he's going to do. So this is starting to get kind of nasty. Bartosz, I'm feeling for you here now. So far, he's done an excellent job, but at the moment, he's staring down 2 Genesises and a Merciful Retribution. That's 2 Spectral Shields a turn, just about. And it's going to be super scary. So Vasilis made a Spectral Shield, pitching a yellow. So everything has to go again, and then gets to come in for 6 damage total. Now Bartosz just needs to hope Vasilis does not find an Ode to double that up on the life. So Bartosz takes 6, no blocks on any of these shields. They are weapons to keep in mind for Spectral Shunt, or for Spectral Shunt, Steelblade Shunt. Then Vasilis comes in with another War Tune, I believe. Yep, War Tune Herald. There was a red one, so 7. And if it hits, goes into the soul. Vasilis does already have one there in the soul and did already create a shield this turn, but we'll have those cards in the soul for later if he has some Celestial Cataclysms he wants to use, or Celestial Cataclysm is a 0-cost spell, but it requires 3 cards out of your soul as its cost instead. Something to keep in mind there. Bartosz gonna take it, allows that go to soul. Likes what he sees in his hand. That means he's got a monster hand brewing back himself. Ooh, this could get spicy. This could be a spicy game, folks. So 3 life is sitting there in Spectral Shields. Keep that in mind. Our Prism player would be incentivized to block here for a few of these. Leave 2 cards in the hand. 6 right now on hit draw card. Our Prism player can throw 2 cards out of the hand if he wants to represent 6 block, and then he's got 3 shields to prevent potentially an Iron Song or another effect. But no, doesn't block, goes to reactions. It is a definite race. Both players just going straight at it. Glint to give it go again. Look at that. So this Dawnblade will come in yet again. Thanks to the Steelblade. So this is going to be 3 damage into the life. 3 shields gone. Bartosz also is going to take 3 damage. And man, Bartosz just does not care about these auras at all. And right now there's already too many Genesises for him to go after, but he's just gonna try to do this. He's gonna say, hey, I don't think you can match this this damage potential. And so far he's right. Sort of. So far he's right, sort of. This turn kind of decides it. You have to think here though, if he doesn't get his opponent down in towards lethal range, where he can kill him on some of the future turns to force some of these cards out, you'd have to think that the Prism player just has it due to all these Kodachis that he's able to generate every turn, thanks to 2 Genesises. So Bartosz going with the Bracer is going to plus it 1, so 7 total here, thanks to the Steelblade as well. Vasilis takes all 7s plus reaction. So here we go. So another 3 more. down to 9. So there we go. That's exactly what Bartosz needed. Gets his opponent down into a potential lethal range. So this will require some respectable cards in the next turn. Some action out of the Prism player, as long as Bartosz is still alive going into the next turn and has cards to use. But I think that's exactly what he needed. 2 counters now on this Dawnblade. So critical turn here. Critical set of turns, actually, from both of our players here. So Genesis 1, shield and draw. Genesis number 2. Start your turn. Put a card in your soul. If it's a illusionist, shield. If it's light, draw a card. Most of the time it's going to be both, so you get both effects. So there's the other one. Ooh, Celestial Cataclysm there. That's what we talked about. 7, go again. There's the 3 cards out of the soul for it. Thanks to that Genesis. And then the card prior. The card last turn going to the soul, which still allows him the ability to pay to make a Spectral Shield to give all of that go again. So this is a lot of damage coming in this turn, just even based on what we see on the field alone. Another at least 5, as long as he's got yellow pitch. As long as he got a yellow pitch, that's another 5 damage in Kodachi's. Bartosz blocking 3 of it, taking 4. Down to 10, so Bartosz 3 cards in hand now. 1 card in arsenal, keep an eye on that. He does have 3 energy on the tunic. Ooh, yep, I had the pummel. It's yellow. 6 more coming in. It's not lethal though. Bartosz is sitting at 10. He could eat all of this. Blocks 2. Critically keeping the tunic alive there. Takes 4. Got 6 to 9. Gauntlet's breaking. Ooh, Herald of Ravages for 8. And if it hits, Arcane, go to Soul. Wow, that was a pretty good one. Now that's a lethal attack there. Thanks some back to the Bartosz is sitting at 6, so this will require a response. Bartosz trying to keep as many resources as he can in his hands. But this will at least require 1 card. It will likely hit unless Bartosz gets rid of all the cards out of his hand. That gauntlet crucially put it up over the 2-card block range. So this is minus any sort of defense reactions. So if Bartosz has 2 Sync Blows, he kind of skates out of here and can still function on his turn, but and not take any damage. But at the moment, it looks like he's gonna take some damage. So Bartosz throwing the equipment back out there, thanks to the combat chain closing when the Goliath gauntlets got popped. So his equipment went back, and then so he was able to use it again. So 2 cards out of the hand, plus the equipment to block 8. So that did not go to the soul, and then critically it did not do an extra damage through the arcane. So Bartosz navigated that pretty nicely to keep himself alive, but only has 1 card in hand and 1 card in arsenal. He's coming in for 5. Basilisk is at 9. If he's doing math in his head, he knows at least an Iron Song response out of hand won't kill him. If he doesn't block it, just a normal +3 from things like Out for Blood wouldn't kill him. He also has 3 Spectral Shields to keep in mind. So Bartosz needs to get 12 damage this turn. So we saw the Halo pop here. So Basilisk put a card into the soul. He can make another Spectral Shield if he wants. It turns on Vestige as well, so everything pitches for an additional resource. So Bartosz figured it out. Basilisk here is trying to get 6 Spectral Shields and just have Bartosz kill himself on it. Basilisk is going to spin his wheels there. Tome of Divinity allows him to draw 3. The card was put into the soul thanks to the Halo. So makes a shield. There's 1. If he has Prismatic Shield in the hand, if he found it off the tome, he can get. Yep, there it is. Prismatic Shield, and that will end the game, folks. Basilisk with a absolute monster of a Prism look right now. I mean, you just can't ask for anything better than double Genesis that sticks around on the field. Wow, let me tell you what, but Bartosz did an excellent job chipping away at the health total and tried to get in there. So Vasilis will finalize this out with no blocks on the Dawn Blade, and this will kill Bartosz back on the response with the Merciful Retribution. And Bartosz wants to kill himself for sure. So he pluses it up with the Steel Blade, and that will end the game. So Vasilis is letting him know he ignored the Genesis for too long, and that wrote his downfall. And Bartosz was like, yes, I know, but he almost got there. So that was absolutely awesome. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and watching that. I know I had a lot of fun with that match. I hope you did too. I'm just happy to see Prism take it, but Bartosz tried to make the run today, and he almost had it. Just Vasilis got him again, though. So that'll clean it up here for us in round number 4, guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. On behalf of myself, James, and John, we appreciate you guys for coming out, and we hope to catch you guys at the next one. Remember, this is Uncharted Realms brings you Out of the Box Gaming's Armory Classic Constructed event. Check out Out of the Box Gaming in Thomasville, North Carolina, or online at outoftheboxgaming.com. And that'll do it for us today, guys. So take care. Hope you enjoy the gameplay, and we will catch you next week.